Hello, welcome to another Big Science. I wanted to talk today about elements. Now the word element is said to come from the Etruscan word LMN. They wrote in the opposite direction. There were people that lived in Italy before the Romans. Element, elementum in Latin, and then eventually element, because it means a letter of the alphabet, hence LMN, like our ABC. And elements are in fact like letters of the alphabet, but they're the alphabet that expresses the language of the universe. Because an element is one of about 7 or 8 dozen different types of atoms that can possibly exist. And if you arrange them in a certain order, it turns out that they can't be broken down into anything smaller, which is still an atom. So they can't. It's very straightforward and simple, and they are those elements which can't be anything less than that. Some of them are heavier and some of them are lighter. In terms of atomic weight, that is, a mole of one, there's a video about moles somewhere else on this channel, will be lighter if it's lower down, and you can number them. Now I have chosen the duodecimal system to number this, which may seem perverse of you, but I think it's important to promote the duodecimal system, so I've done that. Don't worry about that for the time being, because if you start off, you've got hydrogen, helium. These are called atomic numbers. 1, 2, there they are. This is Alex Sell. Introduce yourself, Alex.
Hi.
Right. What's an element?
Element is something found on the periodic table.
Yes, but we haven't got the periodic table yet, so what is it? In more detail.
Okay.
Right, look at this. Actually, look at it in the camera, because otherwise...
Look at it. Isn't it pretty? Can't actually read it.
What are those numbers up there?
Oh, they're the number, the periodic table, the proton number.
Yeah, that's right. That's the number of protons. What's a proton?
Proton is one of the subatomic particles inside.
Why is it significant as far as matter is concerned?
Because it actually has mass.
It has mass.
Unlike the other one.
The three subatomic particles that are sort of heavily involved, a lot of the three bosons, or is it fermions, that are involved in atoms do have mass.
Yeah, but one of them's like 1 in 1,800, 8,000.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the electron. Yeah. Anyway, but let's not confuse the poor people who are trying to do their GCSE chemistry.
Oh come on, I'm doing it. You can handle it.
Okay, right. So, what's that one there?
What is it? Helium.
The first one, that one there.
Hydrogen.
Yep.
Helium. I'm reading it backwards, you realise. Lithium?
Yep. Beryllium.
Beryllium, okay.
Okay, so what, as far as that's concerned, that lithium there, what does it do in water?
It fizzes around.
Yep.
There's a video on it, it's really cool.
Yes.
One of them explodes.
Okay, so you got that one, and then you go beryllium, fairly boring. Boron, boring. Carbon, nitrogen, oxygen.
Carbon.
Fluorine, exploding yellow gas.
Fun.
Neon, sadly yes. Neon, gas that doesn't do anything, but people put spark to it glows pink.
Pink? I thought
and
it was
then you
blue.
go, no, it's pink.
Oh.
Okay, then you got sodium. What does that do in water?
It dissolves.
It burns.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, it does dissolve. It turns into sodium hydroxide.
Dissolves.
Then the next one along, magnesium,
Magnesium.
catches fire easily.
Yes, it's very bright.
You've got some more boring ones. Aluminium, silicon,
Aluminium's not boring.
aluminum, phosphorus. You realise a lot of people watching this video will probably say aluminum.
Oh.
I know. Sad,
You
isn't
use
it?
the proper
You poor
pronunciation.
misguided people. Okay, and then you carry on. By the way, this is in duodecimal.
Why are you doing this in reals?
Well, because there's a pattern, isn't there?
Yes.
When you go to lithium, that's similar to sodium. Okay?
Okay.
You see that? Yeah, okay. And you see a pattern repeats itself. So what you can do is you can get your scissors. Okay, let's get my scissors. Now, cut off the hydrogen.
It's going to explode.
They're shaking heads. Okay. Right. Hydrogen. What the French call hydrogène. Okay. Now, get my blob. Stick it to the wall. You see that? Yep, you can see that. Okay. So there's your hydrogen. Okay. Because it's different than everything else.
It's
Now.
special.
Okay. Okay. Also, do you want to cut the helium off?
Hang on. wired away. And cyborg.
We're all cyborgs nowadays.
Through an electric sheep.
What does helium do?
It floats.
Yeah, but what does it do chemically?
I don't know.
It does nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Why does it do
floats,
absolutely
don't
nothing?
I don't know.
Because its electron orbital is completely filled.
Oh, it's
So
a
it
noble
doesn't
gas.
want to come across. Yes, it's more than noble. It's inert, basically. Okay, so lithium and beryllium.
It's like
Can you cut up
royalty.
beryllium?
Oh, okay. Why are they together? Are they America's latest power couple?
Live. Okay, live. So you stick your live, and I'm going to stick it underneath the hydrogen, although that is only one place they would need to be stuck. So there's lithium and beryllium.
He doesn't often make sense, don't worry.
They already know that. They've seen about 320 videos. Okay, right, lithium and beryllium. Okay, now, then you've got your... Oh,
Empty spaces.
yes, empty spaces. Empty spaces. Couldn't do that, copyright. How do I do with the rest of that reel? Where's it gone?
There?
No, that's the big one. That's no good. Okay.
Organisation.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Okay. So next one along. Okay. So sulfur, chlorine, argon. No, that's the next one
Or
along.
am I cutting?
Okay. Gone. Oh, there it is. Okay. So you've got boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. Okay. Can you cut between neon and sodium, please? Just there.
Okay.
You have a very delicate way of doing that. Right, okay, so then we go over here and
Back
we
in my hand still.
stick our sodium underneath here. Underneath that lithium. And then we need to make another cut.
Table goes.
It is. One minute.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
It is, yeah. You need to know
Yes,
it. Yes, it is. Okay.
Forget what doesn't it?
Okay, then there's a big gap again because of the bloody transition metals, which are really confusing.
I like the transition metals, they're pretty.
Okay,
Everything's coloured because of them.
that's sort of true, but magnesium's coloured. I mean, not magnesium, chlorophyll's coloured, which I've never been able to work out. Right, we can't use that yet.
When he can't work it out.
Magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon.
Like a Gordian knot.
Ha ha ha, yeah. Okay, so we got what? Potassium, calcium, where's it gone? Right, okay. Sorry, argon. I'm going to cut that. Okay, so that's potassium and argon. Okay, and we'll pause the video at this point. So now we've finally got our big run, which is this. So we've got potassium, calcium, scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc.
Cobalt isn't blue.
No, but there are cobalt compounds over. Look, I look really tiny next to you. You've got this enormous head. You look like
standing closer to the
face
thing.
low.
Look. See, when I stand next to you,
You
better.
mysteriously shrink. Objects that are close, big. Remember,
Yeah.
far away, small.
Objects in the mirror
Yes.
are losing.
Especially if they're T-Rexes. Okay, is that still fitting on there?
Is it?
Right, okay.
I don't know.
Zinc.
My head might be in the way.
Right,
Yes.
what's after zinc? What have we got?
Haven't memorised the periodic table.
Right,
When you're doing GCSE, you get a periodic table in the exam.
Well, I don't think people do generally memorise the periodic table. It's like I used to know an astronomer who didn't recognise any continent, any constellation, because he did it. We've got another big reel here, which starts
Oh boy!
with
Oh boy!
gallium, germanium,
Like gallium.
arsenic, yeah, it's good,
arsenic.
selenium, bromine, krypton. So we need to cut there.
I haven't seen the pattern yet either, don't worry.
There will be a pattern. I will show you it eventually.
He says.
Optimistically, uncharacteristically optimistically. So put this next bit along. There, it's going to be the next
We're
one
still
there.
able to slither to the ground like a
Yes,
snake.
that. Right.
Is that still thing? Just. My head isn't in the way.
You'll get a better view of this in a minute because I'm going to pick up the thing note. And also, now we can start putting these in, sulfur, chlorine, argon, because they...
Oh, sulfur. You
Yeah.
Americans have made it that we have to spell it with an F now.
This is true. I'm going to have to do that in the
Thanks.
tabs, you know, so that you can find us, which is really annoying. So please don't do it again. It's PH.
Yeah.
Okay? Although I do like your dialect. It is quite good in general.
I don't.
Right.
I had to spend 10 minutes explaining to a bunch of Americans what clotted cream was.
That's more to do with being Cornish than being English, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but still, most English people know what clotted cream is.
Right. Okay. So, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus.
Aluminium is not boring, no matter what he says. Seriously, it comes up so many times in some of the...
Shiny, silvery stuff.
It's shiny.
Right, so that's
It doesn't
there.
corrode.
Now I'm going to stop at this point and I'm going to put the rest together so we can do a... Here's one I prepared earlier bit.